In 1966, a squad of investigators arrested a man at the front step of his Montana cabin. Inside, they found one working bomb, assorted evidence, and over 40,000 pieces of manifesto/documentation of terrorist acts. From 1978 into the mid-90s, this man was terrorizing the U.S. using mail bombs that killed 3 and injured 23 more. Known to many as just the Unabomber, he struck fear into many hearts of many Americans during his bombing campaign. But just who was the Unabomber? On May 22, 1942, Theodore Kaczynski was born to Theodore Richard Kaczynski and Wanda Dombeck. Ted absolutely despised his parents at some times of his life, while being more cordial than others. He loved camping and being out in the open prairie, 2 factors that would someday lead to his love for the natural world. Ted was an avid reader and was attached to books. His mother described him as being in a trance whenever he was reading. Ted was no perfect child, though, as exemplified by the time when the family was sitting down for dinner, and Ted pulled out the chair from where his mother was sitting, sending her to the floor, covered in a hot dish. Ted was laughing hysterically the whole time while this was happening. Later in his life, in a letter sent to his brother, David, he described that he had not committed any crimes yet because he was brainwashed by society and his parents. Ted was very bright and intelligent, so when he was 16, he went to Harvard. Naturally, he had few friends because of his age and more isolationist tendencies. After receiving his undergrad, he went off to the University of Michigan for graduate studies in mathematics. After acquiring a PhD in 1967, Ted traveled to Berkeley as an assistant professor. This is where his hate for technology and modern life truly rose to the surface. Somewhere in his college days, he participated in famously controversial MK Ultra experiments, which supposedly opened the mind. Some people credit these MK Ultra experiments as what pushed Ted finally over the edge and into just total craziness. Later, these projects were supposedly shut down. This really started his spiral into total craziness. He left Berkeley in 1969 and wandered between cities. Finally, he and his brother David purchased a portion of land in Montana, where Ted built a cabin. This would be a base of operations for the next 24 years. Later, he attained a job at his brother's factory, and this was where he shipped off the initial 16 bombs. These bombs were very crudely made, but they still sometimes got the job done. Some of them would kind of just malfunction and dud, while others exploded with great ferocity. These were a big problem to the police. It's crazy how all these bombs were handmade, or using tools that were handmade. None of them were produced using industrial machinery. The first bomb, sent to a professor working at Northwest University, exploded before it could get to his target, and instead injured a police officer. The bombs were so well made that they could not be traced by the authorities due to the parts being incinerated in the blast. The manhunt was the largest in United States history. The famous eyewitness sketch was distributed nationwide. After the 17-year-long bombing campaign, Ted edited a newspaper and published his manifesto. The anti-tech wording instantly rose red flags for the brother, who upon reading called the authorities and sent them to the Montana cabin. Kaczynski was caught on the front porch and sentenced to multiple life sentences in a Colorado supermax prison. He's still alive to this day. Thank you for watching. Finn. See you guys later.